I did. Lucy's not here this week, she said. Just gonna get it.
So I just realised you asked me to help them last week.
Did I?
You forgot as well.
Yeah.
She's not here next week, so you know,
I never.
so,
No, I forgot.
well, that's good.
Well done.
So the one might be a lot warmer sitting here.
Yes, definitely. That's the whole point. It's nothing to do with sound, it's to do with the draft down at Suzanne's back. Elaine says, well, you're the only one to complain. I know, you're telling me. Yeah, well, exactly. But when we had the choice, you know, when there was an option, could we or couldn't we, I was like, God, I have it, you know.
I can't go without quieters.
Really?
Yeah, do you notice there's a difference?
Not at the moment.
Oh, it's nicer with the quiet when I was teaching this morning.
It's a lot quieter,
It's
isn't it?
dead peaceful in here.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Just when we have to put the radiators on, we make that noise.
Buckets.
So done up, we'd be so.
Are we going to keep the blue on?
Yeah, just a decoration like that. I think it looks lovely, doesn't it? Good.
Cool, it is a lot.
It is, isn't it? I think it's great.
Right, what are we on?
You
Eight steps now?
realise how big the garden is, don't you?
Yeah, you can see the garden, it's beautiful.
Let's see where I came from. No, eight steps back.
That's what drains.
Yeah, or blinds, roll down blinds.
Yeah, I think roll down blinds, like in the cafe.
Keep the place warm, okay?
I didn't
Keep
realise.
falling down, Eddie. If you fancy getting the ladder out every other week.
Is this
Yeah, do you
fertiliser?
know what? There's
supreme purifying nectar, and your mind is refuge for all living beings. With folded hands I turn to you, supreme unchanging friend. I request from the depths of my heart, please give me the light of your wisdom to dispel the darkness of my mind, and to heal my mental continuum. Please nourish me with your goodness, that I in turn may nourish all beings with an unceasing banquet of delight. Through your compassionate intention, your blessings and virtuous deeds, and my strong wish to rely upon you. May all suffering quickly cease, and all happiness and joy be fulfilled, and may holy Dharma flourish forevermore. May the whole ground become completely pure, as level as the palm of a hand, and as smooth as lapis lazuli. May all the space be filled with offerings from gods and men, both set out and imagined, like offerings of the all-good One. In the space in front, on a lion throne, on a cushion of lotus, sun and moon, sits Buddha Shakyamuni, the essence of all my kind teachers, surrounded by the assembly of direct and indirect gurus, Yidams, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, heroes, solitary conquerors, heroes, dakinis, and Dharma protectors. I and all my kind mothers, fearing samsara's torments, turn to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the only sources of refuge. From now until enlightenment, to the three jewels we go for refuge. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings until we achieve enlightenment. Go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings until we achieve enlightenment. Go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings until we achieve enlightenment. Go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings until we achieve enlightenment. Go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Through the virtues I collect by giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all. Through the virtues I collect by giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all. Through the virtues I collect by giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all. From the hearts of all refuge objects, lights and letters stream down and dissolve into myself and all living beings, purifying negative karma and obstructions, increasing our lives, our virtues, and Dharma realization. May everyone be happy. May everyone be free from misery. May no one ever be separated from their happiness. May everyone have equanimity, free from hatred and attachment. You, protector of all beings, great destroyer of hosts of demons, please, O Blessed One, Lord of all, come to this place with your retinue. With my body, speech, and mind, humbly I prostrate, and make offerings both set out and imagined. I confess my wrong deeds from all time, and rejoice in the virtues of all. Please stay until samsara ceases, and turn the wheel of Dharma for us. I dedicate all virtues to great enlightenment. The ground sprinkled with perfume and spread with flowers, the great mountain for land, sun and moon, seen as a Buddha land and offered thus. May all beings enjoy such pure lands. I offer without any sense of loss the objects that give rise to my attachment, hatred, and confusion. My friends, enemies, and strangers are bodies and enjoyments. Please accept these and bless me to be released directly from the three poisons. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami. So now, my most kind rude Guru, please sit on the lotus and moon on my crown, and grant me out of your great kindness your body, speech, and mind's attainments. I make request to you, Buddha Shakyamuni, whose body comes from countless virtues, whose speech fulfills the hopes of mortals, whose mind sees clearly all existence. I make request to you, Gurus of the lineage of extensive deeds, Venerable Maitreya, noble Sangha Vasubandhu, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the path of vastness. I make request to you, Gurus of the lineage of profound view, Venerable Manjushri Nagarjuna Chandrakirti, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the most profound path. I make request to you, Gurus of the lineage of secret mantra, Conqueror Vajradhara, Tilopa and Naropa, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the path of Tantra. I make request to you, Gurus of the old Kadam lineage, the second Buddha, Tisha, Drom, Tompa, Geshe, Potawa, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the union of vast and profound paths. I make request to you, Gurus of the new Kadam lineage, Venerable Tsongkhapa, Jampa, Gyatso, Kedrupje, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the union of Sutra and Tantra. I make request to you, Venerable Khalsang Gyatso, protector of a vast ocean of living beings, unequal teacher of the paths to liberation and enlightenment, who accomplish and explain everything that was revealed by the fourth deliverer of this fortunate eon. I make request to you, my kind precious teacher, who care for those with uncontrolled minds, untamed by all the previous Buddhas, as if they were fortunate disciples. Please pour down your inspiring blessings upon myself and all my mothers, so that we may quickly stop all perverse minds, from disrespect for our kind teacher, to the most subtle jewel appearance. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, so that we may quickly generate pure minds, from respect for our kind teacher, to the supreme mind of union. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, to pacify all outer and inner obstructions. Please pour down your inspiring blessings upon myself and all my mothers, so that we may quickly stop all perverse minds, from disrespect for our kind teacher, to the most subtle jewel appearance. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, so that we may quickly generate pure minds, from respect for our kind teacher, to the supreme mind of union. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, to pacify all outer and inner obstructions. Please pour down your inspiring blessings upon myself and all my mothers, so that we may quickly stop all perverse minds, from disrespect for our kind teacher, to the most subtle jewel appearance. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, so that we may quickly generate pure minds, from respect for our kind teacher, to the supreme mind of union. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, to pacify all outer and inner obstructions. From the hearts of all the holy beings, streams of light and nectar flow down, granting blessings and purifying. The path begins with strong reliance on my kind teacher, source of all good. Oh, bless me with this understanding to follow him with great devotion. This human life with all its freedoms extremely rare, with so much meaning, Oh, bless me with this understanding all day and night to seize its essence. My body like a water bubble decays and dies so very quickly. After death come results of karma, just like the shadow of a body. With this firm knowledge and remembrance, bless me to be extremely cautious, always avoiding harmful actions and gathering abundant virtue. Samsara's pleasures are deceptive, give no contentment, only torment. So please bless me to strive sincerely to gain the bliss of perfect freedom. Oh, bless me so that from this pure thought come mindfulness and greatest caution, to keep as my essential practice the doctrine's root, the pratimoksha. Just like myself, all my kind mothers are drowning in samsara's ocean. Oh, so that I may soon release them, bless me to train in bodhicitta. But I cannot become a Buddha by this alone, without 3 ethics. So bless me with the strength to practice the Bodhisattva's ordination, by pacifying my distractions and analyzing perfect meanings. Bless me to quickly gain the union of special insight and quiescence. When I become a pure container through common paths, bless me to enter the essence practice of good fortune, the supreme vehicle Vajrayana. The 2 attainments both depend on my sacred vows and my commitments. Bless me to understand this clearly and keep them at the cost of my life. By constant practice in 4 sessions, the way explained by holy teachers. Oh, bless me to gain both the stages which are the essence of the Tantras. May those who guide me on the good path and my companions all have long lives. Bless me to pacify completely all obstacles, outer and inner. May I always find perfect teachers and take delight in holy Dharma. Accomplish all grounds and paths swiftly and gain the state of Vajradhara.
And so we can meditate. We can contemplate that by studying this text up to this point, we have been exploring the development of our mind, of love, affectionate love, cherishing love, wishing love, the mind of compassion that sincerely wishes for all living beings to be free from suffering. And the mind of conventional bodhicitta is determined to attain enlightenment, to free all living beings from their suffering and lead them to the state of enlightenment. Now in this chapter we have the opportunity to study Buddha's teachings, and especially Venerable Geshe Kelsang's presentation of Buddha's teachings on wisdom. The other half of these two wings that will enable us to fly to a pure land and to the state of enlightenment. The presentation of Buddha's teachings on wisdom lead us to realize the things we normally see do not exist. The things we normally see are merely like illusions, like dreams. They do not truly exist. So we can make a determination to take this opportunity to develop this realization, a realization that experiences the emptiness of all phenomena, including ourselves. So make a single-pointed determination to really engage with the instructions and teachings in this chapter, so that you can develop an authentic realization of the emptiness of all phenomena, including yourself. This will bring you so much closer to enlightenment. Bring you so much closer to overcome all your problems, to overcome all your delusions, and be free from suffering, and have the power to help others to do the same. So you can meditate on the determination. I will definitely strive to develop a realization of emptiness of all phenomena, including myself. Thank you. So now you can relax your concentration. The root text. Where is everybody tonight? They all online. They need to get in here. You tell them. You tell them. If they live in Liverpool, they should get in here. If they live in Liverpool, there's no reason why they can't get in here. Good. With the intention to attain the ultimate supreme goal that surpasses even the wish-granting jewel, may I constantly cherish all living beings. Whenever I associate with others, may I view myself as the lowest of all, and with a pure intention, may I cherish others as supreme. Examining my mental continuum throughout all my actions, as soon as a delusion of self-cherishing develops, whereby I or others would act inappropriately, may I firmly face it and avert it. Whenever I see unfortunate beings oppressed by evil and violent suffering, may I cherish them as if I had found a rare and precious treasure. Even if someone I have helped and of whom I had great hopes nevertheless harms me intentionally, may I see him or her as my holy spiritual guide. When others out of jealousy or anger harm me or insult me, may I take defeat upon myself and offer them the victory. In short, may I directly and indirectly offer help and happiness to all my mothers, and secretly take upon myself all their harm and suffering. Furthermore, through all the above practices, together with a mind undefiled by the stains of the 8 extremes, and that sees all phenomena as illusory, may I and all living beings be released from mistaken abeyance and conception. And the condensed meaning, page 269. Training in ultimate bodhicitta has 10 parts. What is emptiness? The emptiness of our body, the emptiness of our mind, the emptiness of our eye, the emptiness that is empty of 8 extremes, conventional and ultimate truths, the union of the 2 truths, the practice of emptiness in our daily activities, the purpose of meditating on emptiness, a simple training in ultimate bodhicitta. Is it page 205? Paragraph that begins, Buddha also said. Yeah. Good. Buddha, before I begin. Well, no, let me begin first. Buddha also said that all phenomena are like illusions. There are many different types of illusions, such as mirages, rainbows, or drug-induced hallucinations. In ancient times, there used to be magicians who would cast a spell over their audience, causing them to see objects such as a piece of wood or something else such as a tiger. Those deceived by the spell would see what appeared to be a real tiger and develop fear. But those who arrived after the spell had been cast would simply see a piece of wood. What all illusions have in common is that the way they appear does not coincide with the way they exist. What all illusions have in common is that the way they appear does not coincide with the way they exist. So this refers to true existence. What is true existence? If something is truly existent, it would exist in exactly the way in which it appears. Yeah? But we find that nothing exists like that. Because everything that appears to us appears to exist out there, separate from our mind. As if our mind has nothing to do with what is appearing. But in reality, that does not happen. There is no there out there. Everything is simply appearance to mind and nothing else. So when we have the view that things are existing from their own side, they appear to be truly existing, we have to remember they don't truly exist, because the way they appear is different from the way in which they actually exist. Yes? No? Yes? I think we can get it more easily if we think about the nature of our mind. That which is clarity and yet functions to cognize. How do we cognize things? Things appear to our mind. So think of whatever is appearing from the side of your own mind. Normally we're thinking, oh, the things that are appearing to me are from the side of the object. But think of things from the side of your mind. And then you begin to realize, well, it's just appearance and nothing else. Yeah? Because if something is appearing to you, it has to be inside your mind. Otherwise it doesn't appear to you. And if it's inside your mind, then the way it exists is dependent upon your mind. So it cannot exist from out there. And then, because Buddha is saying everything is just like an illusion, if we were to investigate and look for the things that appear to be out there, they're just illusions. You wouldn't find them. We'd be like those people who were deceived by the spell of self-grasping ignorance. Yeah. Because we tend to grasp at a self, then in order for our self to be true, everything else has to be true as well. In order for our self to be truly existent, everything else has to be truly existent, otherwise we'd just be being deceived all the time. So it's almost like we have to bring the whole world into existence just in order to assert our own true existence. So this is why we need to realize the emptiness of ourself. It's one of the first things we need to do. If we can realize the emptiness of ourself, then it becomes much easier to realize the emptiness of everything else. I know it seems very complicated, but ask yourself, which self? But just think about why do we need things to exist from their own side, which is what we normally think. If we understand karma also we come to realize that everything that's appearing to us is simply the result of the karmic potentials we've already created by our own mind. So everything that appears to us is dependent upon our past minds, our past intentions. So our mind is involved in everything. It's not only determining what appears in our life, but it's also determining how we experience it. Buddha likened all phenomena to illusions because through the force of the imprints of self-grasping ignorance accumulated since beginningless time, whatever appears to our mind naturally appears to be truly existent, and we instinctively assent to this appearance. But in reality, everything is totally empty of true existence. Like a mirage that appears to be water, but is not in fact water, things appear in a deceptive way. Not understanding their real nature as simply appearances, we are fooled by appearances and grasp at books and tables, bodies and worlds as truly existent. So, in dependence upon this grasping, holding things as truly existent, then the qualities that they have must also be truly existent. The qualities that we perceive them to have are also truly existent. So we divide up our world into things that appear as pleasant and things that appear as unpleasant and things that appear as neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Then you understand then how attachment and anger and jealousy and all the other delusions arise. No. No. The result of grasping at phenomena in this way is that we develop self-cherishing, attachment, hatred, jealousy, and other delusions. Our mind becomes agitated and unbalanced, and our peace of mind is destroyed. Have you had your peace of mind destroyed recently?
Every hour.
Every day. Yeah. I was going to say every day, but we're like travelers in a desert who exhaust themselves running after mirages, or like someone walking down a road at night mistaking the shadows of the trees for criminals or wild animals waiting to attack. So it's really important for us to come to the realization that things do not truly exist. And the definition of what true existence is, it means existing in the same way as it appears, in exactly the same way as it appears. But everything appears to be out there, but nothing exists out there. Everything is just an appearance. And we can check, we can, we can follow the logic of Nagarjuna. If something exists, we'll be able to find it if we search for it. But if we can't find it, we have to realize it doesn't exist. So we've done this exercise countless times in the past. When we search for a self, we've searched for a body. You can't find it. You can find other things that are not body or not self, but you don't find self, you don't find body. And the same thing applies to everything else. You don't find chair, you don't find table, you don't find book. You find all kinds of other things that are not book, like pages and so on. So we have a means of applying logic to develop this understanding and this conviction that the things we normally see do not exist. It doesn't mean to say that things don't exist, but the things we normally see do not exist, because the things we normally see, we think they're truly existent. Truly existent things do not exist. Inherently existent things do not exist. There never has been anything inherently existent, not then, not now, not ever. So what are we left with? If just appearance, just aspects of our mind. But these appearances exist. We're not denying the existence of these things. This is why these teachings on emptiness lead us to the middle way between the extreme of existence and the extreme of non-existence. We understand existence by realizing everything is just an appearance, but we also understand non-existence by realizing that emptiness. Okay. The emptiness of our body. To understand how phenomena are empty of true or inherent existence, we should consider our own body. Once we have understood how our body lacks true existence, we can easily apply the same reasoning to other objects. In Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, Shantideva says, "Therefore there is no body, but because of ignorance we see a body within the hands and so forth. Just like a mind mistakenly apprehending a person when observing the shape of a pile of stones at dusk." So what does this verse mean? Because of ignorance we see a body within the hands and so forth. So the hands and so forth, the parts of our body, are appearing to us. These are the aggregates of a person. Yeah? Part of the form aggregate. And just by seeing the hands and other parts, we create the idea, we impute body. We don't see body, all we see is hands and so forth, but we create the idea body, and we see a body that's connected to these hands and so forth. Apart from that imputation, which is just an appearance to our mind, there is no body. Similarly, a mind mistakenly apprehending a person, they're observing the shape of a pile of stones at dusk, and we impute person upon these piles of stones. But there is no person, we know that. We know there's no person there. And yet, you probably bet your life savings there's a person there. I have to say that happened to me once. When I lived in Scotland, I used to live in an old school that was at the bottom of this beautiful hill in a village near St Andrews. And often I would go out walking, and one time I was walking near the base of the hill, and I met one of my neighbours. So we stopped and had a conversation. Then we went different ways. She was going one way and I was going another way. So later, after I had a bit of walk, I was walking to the top of the hill, and there I saw her standing near the top of the hill, so I waved to her. She didn't wave back. So I thought, oh dear, what did I say? So I walked on a bit further and waved again, still no response. This was in the evening. But this hill, this little village, was close to an RAF centre that was operational during the Second World War. And there was a little brick hut on top of the hill that had a light on it, so they'd be able to see where they were when they were coming back. But it had been demolished, and so someone piled up the bricks. And it just looked like a person from a distance. So I was developing a feeling of unease, wondering why my neighbour wouldn't speak to me.
Well, you do that all the time when you pass decisive like me. It's a good teacher.
So we see that how we create our world just through this process of imputation. We see one thing and we impute something else. But the something else doesn't exist other than that thought, that imputation. Not even if we're imputing on the basis of our hands. On one level, we know our body very well. We know whether it is healthy or unhealthy, beautiful or ugly, and so forth. However, we never examine it more deeply, asking ourselves, what precisely is my body? Where is my body? What is its real nature? If we did examine our body in this way, we would not be able to find it. Instead of finding our body, the result of this examination would be that our body disappears. The meaning of the first part of Shantideva's verse, therefore there is no body, is that if we search for our real body, there is no body. Our body exists only if we do not search for a real body behind its mere appearance. The word mere is very important. It means that and nothing else. Mere appearance means that appearance and nothing else. So our body exists to us only if we do not search for a real body that is other than mere appearance. We try to find a real body, it's a waste of time, because it is not other than mere appearance. We never go through this search process. We just automatically assume that whatever appears to us must exist. No. There are two ways of searching for an object. An example of the first way, which we can call a conventional search, is searching for our car in a car park. The conclusion of this type of search is that we find the car, in the sense that we see the thing that everyone agrees is our car. However, having located our car in the car park, suppose we're still not satisfied with the mere appearance of the car, and we want to determine exactly what the car is. We might then engage in what we can call an ultimate search for the car, in which we look within the object itself to find something that is the object. It's almost like we're looking for the essence of the thing. We're breaking down what's appearing to us, deconstructing what's appearing to us until we find the real thing, the real essence. And that we can't deconstruct anymore. We've found the object. It never happens. To do this, we ask ourselves, are any of the individual parts of the car the car? Are the wheels the car? Is the engine the car? Is the chassis the car? And so forth. And the answer is always no. These things are parts of the car. When conducting an ultimate search for our car, we are not satisfied with just pointing to the bonnet, wheels and so forth, and then saying car. We want to know what the car really is. Instead of just using the word car as ordinary people do, we want to know what the word really refers to. So what are we seeing when you find your car? Just the appearance of a car. We want to mentally separate the car from all that is not the car, so that we can say then, this is what the car really is. We want to find a car, but in truth there is no car. We can find nothing. In Condensed Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, Buddha says, if you search for your body with wisdom, you cannot find it. This also applies to our car, our house, and all other phenomena, including other people's bodies. In Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, Shantideva says, when examined in this way, who is living, and who is it who will die? What is the future, and what is the past? Who are our friends, and who are our relatives? I beseech you who are just like me, please know that all things are empty like space. All things are empty like space. So the essential meaning of these words is that when we search for things with wisdom, there is no person who is living or dying. There's no person. Person is just an imputation. Remember the definition of a person? A self or an I imputed upon any of the 5 aggregates. So as long as we're imputing something, it's just an appearance. Nothing, a mere appearance and nothing else. And then the same with the past. What is the past? How do you know what the past is? There are events in the past, there are events that appear at a particular date or time, or is that the past? It's the past of whom? Whose past? And then the future. What is the future? There's no present, including our present friends and relatives. We should know that all phenomena are empty like space, which means we should know that all phenomena are not other than emptiness. There is no phenomenon that is not emptiness. To understand Shantideva's claim that in reality there is no body, we need to conduct an ultimate search for our body. If we are ordinary beings, all objects, including our body, appear to exist inherently. So we all have an image of our body, and we think that our body exists just like that, separate from our mind. Our body and mind are different. As mentioned above, objects seem to be independent of our mind and independent of other phenomena. So in this way our body seems to be independent of mind and independent of other phenomena. It doesn't depend upon anything, it's just how my body is. The universe appears to consist of discrete objects that have an existence from their own side. These objects appear to exist in themselves as stars, planets, mountains, people, and so forth, waiting to be experienced by conscious beings. So what is a mountain? Is a mountain just a discrete object? A mountain has many parts. Has paths, has vegetation, has insects and birds and animals, so on. So every mountain has parts. All we're doing is imputing. It has size, it has shape. All we're doing is imputing the concept mountain upon all of these things. In the same way, it's just exactly the same as imputing a person upon a pile of bricks, a pile of stones, or a body upon a hands and so forth. Same with stars, planets, people and so forth, waiting to be experienced by conscious beings. So that everything is just stuck out there, waiting to be experienced. But here's a question. When did black holes come into existence? Well, there is a concept of a black hole.
When it appeared to someone's mind.
When it appeared to somebody's mind. When was that? Do you know? It was,
Einstein?
sorry,
Einstein?
I don't think it was Einstein, it was, the guy in the wheelchair, Stephen Hawking. And so he gave it a name, and then it was in existence. So everybody talks about black holes now. Before that, they didn't exist. And nobody's ever seen a black hole. It's just imputed on the basis of mathematical calculations or logic. Normally, it does not occur to us that we are involved in any way in the existence of these phenomena. For example, we feel that our body exists from its own side and does not depend upon our mind or anyone else's to bring it into existence. However, if our body did exist in the way that we instinctively grasp it, as an external object rather than just a projection of mind, we should be able to point to our body without pointing to any phenomenon that is not our body. So, you know, when we try to do this, we can point to our chest, our head, our arms, our torso, and etc., etc. Pull open our chest and we point to the organs inside. These are all things that are not our body. They're other than our body, the parts. None of them is called body. So where is body? We cannot find body. Well, we should be able to find it amongst its parts or outside its parts, since there is no third possibility. If our body cannot be found either amongst its parts or outside its parts, we must conclude that our body that we normally see does not exist. So the next bits are very important to understand and remember. It is not difficult to understand that the individual parts of our body are not our body. It is absurd to say that our back, our legs, or our head are our body. Our skin is not our body, our hair is not our body, our eyes not our body, etc., etc. If one of the parts, say our back, is our body, then the other parts are equally our body, and it would follow that we have many bodies. Furthermore, our back, legs, and so forth cannot be our body because they are parts of our body. The body is the part possessor. The body possesses parts, and a possessor cannot be the same as the thing that is possessed. They're always different, by definition. The back, legs, and so forth are the possessed parts, and the possessor and possessed cannot be one and the same. Now the next bit is a little bit tricky. Some people believe that although none of the individual parts of the body is the body, none of the individual parts of the body is the body, but the collection of all the parts assembled together is the body. That's what we would normally say. According to them, it is possible to find our body when we search for it analytically, because the collection of all the parts of our body is our body. So what we're saying, this bit is saying, is the way in which all the parts are put together, the collection of the parts, this is our body. However, this assertion can be refuted with many valid reasons. The force of these reasons may not be immediately obvious to us, but if we contemplate them carefully with a calm and positive mind, we will come to appreciate their validity. So, make your mind calm and positive.
You're asking a lot then.
Since none of the individual parts of our body is our body, how can the collection of all the parts be our body? It's just a collection of non-bodies. Because there's no individual part of our body, no individual part that is our body. So the collection of the parts is just a collection of non-bodies. For example, a collection of dogs cannot be a human being, because none of the individual dogs is human. As each individual member is non-human, how can this collection of non-humans magically transform into a human? Similarly, since the collection of the parts of our body is a collection of things that are not our body, it cannot be our body. Just as the collection of dogs remains simply dogs, so the collection of all the parts of our body remains simply parts of our body. It does not magically transform into the part possessor, our body. Okay? Good so far? We may find this point difficult to understand, but if we think about it for a long time with a calm and positive mind and discuss it with more experienced practitioners, it will gradually become clearer. We can also consult authentic books on the subject, such as The New Heart of Wisdom and Ocean of Nectar. There is another way in which we can know that the collection of the parts of our body is not our body. If we can point to the collection of the parts of our body and say that this is in itself our body, then the collection of the parts of our body must exist independently of all phenomena that are not our body. You got that? Let me just say that again. If we can point to the collection of the parts of our body and say that this collection is in itself our body, then the collection of the parts of our body must exist independently of all phenomena that are not our body. So what we're saying is the collection is the body, and therefore it's different from anything that is not the body. Yeah? You know where it's going with this. Thus it would follow that the collection of the parts of our body exists independently of the parts themselves. You go to the previous sentence, the collection must exist independently of all phenomena that are not our body. And we've shown that the individual parts are not our body. So the collection must exist. If we're going to say that the collection is our body, the collection must exist independently of all of the parts of our body, all these non-bodies. Yes? No? Well, is your mind calm and positive? But this is fun, this is great. Mm. Thus it would follow that the collection of the parts of our body exists independently of the parts themselves. This is clearly absurd. Because we're saying, what we would be saying was that there's a thing, phenomenon called collection, that's entirely independent of the parts. Here's all the parts over here, and here's the thing called collection. The implication is if we take away all the parts, then the collection will remain. The collection of parts will remain. Doesn't make sense, does it? No. It's like saying, you know, a forest, just a collection of trees. If you cut down all the trees, where's the forest? There isn't forest, there's no forest. So the word collection is just an imputation based on a number of things. It doesn't exist independently of itself, independently of the things on which it is imputed. We can therefore conclude that the collection of the parts of our body is not our body. Since the body cannot be found within its parts, either as an individual part or as the collection, the only possibility that remains is that it exists separately from its parts. If this is the case, it should be possible mentally or physically to remove all the parts of our body and still be left with the body. However, if we remove our arms, our legs, our head, our trunk, and all the other parts of our body, no body is left. We could chop up all our body and throw the parts away, and there would be no body left. Do you remember the movie Freedom? Or is it William Wallace? No. Okay. They chopped him up, yeah. And there was no... well, he was executed by chopping him up into pieces.
And they put the parts on the...
Yeah. So there was no body left. This proves that there is no body separate from its parts. It is because of ignorance that whenever we point to our body, we're pointing only to part of our body, which is not our body. We have now searched in every possible place and have been unable to find our body, either amongst its parts or anywhere else. We can find nothing that corresponds to the vividly appearing body that we normally grasp at. We are forced to agree with Shantideva that when we search for our body, there is no body to be found. This clearly proves that our body that we normally see does not exist at all. It is almost as if our body does not exist at all. Indeed, the only sense in which we can say that our body does exist is if we are satisfied with the mere name body and do not expect to find a real body behind the name. If we try to find or point to a real body to which the name body refers, we will not find anything at all. Instead of finding a truly existent body, we will perceive the mere absence of our body that we normally see. This mere absence of our body that we normally see is the way our body actually exists. We will realize that the body we normally perceive, grasp at, and cherish does not exist at all. This non-existence of the body we normally grasp at is the emptiness of our body. The true nature of our body. The term true nature is very meaningful. Not being satisfied with the mere appearance and name body, we examine our body to discover its true nature. The result of this examination was a definite non-finding of our body. Where we expected to find a truly existent body, we discovered the utter non-existence of that truly existent body. This non-existence or emptiness is the true nature of our body, and the only true nature of our body. Apart from the mere absence of a truly existent body, there is no other true nature of our body. Every other attribute of the body is just part of its deceptive nature. Since this is the case, why do we spend so much time focusing on the deceptive nature of our body? At present we ignore the true nature of our body and other phenomena and concentrate only on their deceptive nature. Yet the result of concentrating all the time on deceptive objects is that our mind becomes disturbed and we remain in the miserable life of samsara. If we wish to experience pure happiness, we must acquaint our mind with the truth, that is the truth of emptiness. Instead of wasting our energy focusing only on meaningless, deceptive objects, we should focus on the true nature of things. Although it is impossible to find our body when we search for it analytically, when we do not engage in analysis, our body appears very clearly. Why is this? Shantideva says that because of ignorance, we see our body within the hands and other parts of our body. In other words, we impute body upon the hands and other parts. In reality, our body does not exist within its parts. Just as at dusk we might see a pile of stones as a man, even though there is no man within the stones. So in the same way our ignorant mind sees a body within the collection of arms, legs and so forth, even though body exists there. The body we see within the collection of arms and legs is simply a hallucination of our ignorant mind. Not recognizing it as such, however, we grasp at it very strongly, cherish it, and exhaust ourselves in trying to protect it from any discomfort. Is this what we do? Not only do we grasp at our own body, we grasp at others' bodies too.
Can we grasp at the mere name, body?
Yes, if you want to. You can call it anything.
We just call it body because it helps with conversation.
I don't quite mean that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
When
use the
we
word
name
body as a way to say this is a body. Like in France they call it something else.
Yeah.
In Germany they call it something else.
Sounds or words have meaning of the person who utters them. You call it what you like. But no one else would understand unless they have the same meaning. Okay.
Is it Christian?
For next week, would you prepare up to the end of the emptiness of our mind, which is up to page 216. 216. So it's from page 212 to 216. There'll be more time for meditation next week. So what would you like to meditate on?
The emptiness of our
I think it's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, what we've got to stages.
Sorry?
Like along with all the stages.
Yes.
And we're going to do it with a calm and positive light.
Yes. I'll bring in a pile of stones as well.
The breath.
You wanted to comment on why you're asking a question.
Yeah?
Shall I include Matt?
Yes.
So essentially he's asking, if there is no body, then how can there be parts of a body?
Good question. There aren't any parts either. There are no parts either.
Okay, that's the first one. Sue Wong asks, if a fly does not exist, why am I not allowed to swat it?
The fly exists as an appearance to your own mind. Then it's up to you to decide whether you want to engage in killing.
And the karmic consequences.
This is how the world functions.
Yes.
Supposed to exist.
Yeah.
Well, the appearance function.
Yes. So the important thing is how we respond to whatever appears. If we respond in one way, we creating a cause to have a lower rebirth. If we respond in another way, and we have compassion for the fly that's appeared as a fly and not a human being, then one way takes us to enlightenment, another way takes us to hell. And it's all, you have to realize our appearances exist. But the object, the truly existent objects do not exist.
Om Muni Muni Maha Muniya Soha. Om Muni Muni Maha Muniya Soha. Through the virtues I have collected, by practicing the stages of the path, may all living beings find the opportunity to practice in the same way. However many living beings there are, experiencing mental and physical suffering, may their suffering cease through the power of my merit, and may they find everlasting happiness and joy. May everyone experience the happiness of humans and gods, and quickly attain enlightenment, so that samsara is finally extinguished. For the benefit of all living beings as extensive as space, may I attain great wisdom like that of Manjushri, great compassion like that of Avalokiteshvara, great power like that of Vajrapani. The Buddha Dhamma is the supreme medicine that relieves all mental pain, So may this precious Dharma jewel pervade all worlds throughout space. May there arise in the minds of all living beings great faith in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and thus may they always receive the blessings of the three precious gems. May there never arise in this world the miseries of incurable disease, famine, or war, or the dangers of earthquakes, fires, floods, storms, and so forth. May all mother beings meet precious teachers who reveal the stages of the path to enlightenment, and through engaging in this path, may they quickly attain the ultimate peace of full enlightenment. Through the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the truth of actions and their effects, and the power of my pure superior intention, may all my prayers be fulfilled. So that the tradition of Tsongkhapa, the King of the Dharma, may flourish. May all obstacles be pacified, and may all favorable conditions abound. Through the two collections of myself and others, gathered throughout the three times, may the doctrine of Conqueror Losandratha flourish forevermore. Shakyamuni and Vajradhara, the source of all attainments. Avalokiteshvara, the treasury of unobservable compassion. Manjushri, the supreme stainless wisdom. Ambajapani, the destroyer of the wars of martyrs. O venerable Guru Buddha, synthesis of all issues, with my body, speech, and mind, respectfully I make request. Please grant your blessings to ripen and liberate myself and others, and bestow the common and supreme attainments. Tsongkhapa, the scholars of the land of the snows. You are Buddha, Shakyamuni, and Vajradhara, the source of all attainments. Avalokiteshvara, the treasury of unobservable compassion. Manjushri, the supreme stainless wisdom. Ambajapani, the destroyer of the wars of martyrs. O venerable Guru Buddha, synthesis of all issues, with my body, speech, and mind, the supreme stainless wisdom, and not upon me, the destroyer of the hosts of Mars. O venerable Guru Buddha, synthesis of all these truths, with my body, speech, and mind, respectfully I make request. Please grant your blessings to ripen and liberate myself and others, and bestow the common and supreme attainment.
Thank you, everyone.